I'm from Detroit.
Certain part you represent?
Nah, because I moved out of Detroit in the 4th grade, so I bounced around, best of both worlds, from the east side of Detroit, never really been on the west side like that, and lived in Romulus, lived in East Point, lived in Clinton Township, stuff like that.
Still living in Detroit?
No, I'm not.
Where do you stay now?
I basically just came from California. I was out there for a while, San Diego, there for a little while.
How old were you when you made that move?
That was recent, actually. That was very recent. Actually been to all the states except for like New Mexico. Been to all the states.
When you say all the states, you mean just visiting?
I've been in all the states. The longest I've been in the state would probably be California and Atlanta. Spent, most times out there, basically.
So you lived in Detroit until recently.
Well, I moved out of Detroit in the 4th grade. I haven't lived in Detroit. I've been back, but I haven't lived in Detroit for quite some time.
Just San Diego specifically was recent.
Yeah, that's recent.
Okay. All right, so after 4th grade, where are you moving to? Give me like the history between 4th grade and San Diego.
4th grade, I moved to Romulus, and I was in Romulus all the way up until the 9th grade. After 9th grade, I moved to East Point, went to East Detroit High School for like my 10th grade year and my junior year. And I moved to Clinton Township my senior year. It's the first time I ever really been around white people. First time I ever listened to a pop song ever when I went to Chippewa.
And then?
And then I was in Clinton Township for a while, and I made the transition to San Diego. Yeah.
Why San Diego?
I liked it. I've been to LA, but I don't know. San Diego it's real nice out there. The weather is nice, the people, everything about it.
Not really a music career choice move.
No. I went out there just a different vibe, just to change my setting, the people I was around, everything, just to see how I liked it. And I realized it's okay, I guess. Sorry.
Why so much moving?
It's like since I was in high school, I always wanted to go to all the states, but I never really knew how I was gonna go. It's been a dream, and one day I was just like, I'm going, and I went to all the states, and the place that I liked the most would say Atlanta and California. I'll say that.
When you say you like that the most, you like those cities, or those are the cities that are the most accepting of you, or?
When I first came to Atlanta, I was 18. I didn't like it at all. I hated it, actually. I first came out here. It was like too turned up, you hear all this rap on the radio in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, and it's like, what the fuck? But I got used to it, basically.
Was that a music career choice move?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it at all, actually. I wouldn't say that. It's somewhere I really went, like Atlanta. Detroiters, we go to Atlanta, like we're known for going to Atlanta, so I went too, basically.
A lot of Detroiters go to Cali as well.
Yeah.
Bay Area.
Yeah. I ran into a lot of people from Detroit out there, a lot.
There's a strong connection between Detroit and the Bay Area and Detroit and Atlanta.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Now, looking back, your upbringing, what was that like for you, growing up in those different areas that you mentioned? Can you paint that picture for us?
Well, living on the east side of Detroit, it was it's not as bad as it is now. It wasn't like that back then, but, I used to get jumped a lot, I had learned how to fight at a early age, I would say. Kids across the street used to jump me and my sister a lot. We used to have to fight all the time. The adults was ratchet, it was just bad, honestly. The schools, we didn't really learn. I didn't really learn until I started going to East Detroit. I learned a little bit. When I went to Chippewa, I started to learn a lot when I went there. It was real advanced.
Why were you guys getting jumped so much, you and your sister?
I don't know. I do not know. I don't know, but I don't know. I cannot answer that question still to this day. I don't know.
Sounds like you had a rough upbringing.
I did.
What was your roughest point growing up? Was it those jumpings or was it something worse than that?
I would say the worst thing, I met my dad at 16. That was probably the worst thing. Probably the worst.
What took so long?
He ain't shit. I mean, that's it. He's just like any other father that wasn't there, basically. That's the answer.
Why did he show up at 16?
That wasn't supposed to happen, actually. It was an accident. How that happened was my mom, she brought me and my sister down to the Friends of the Court for some child support stuff, and, you know, I saw him, and he was like, what they doing here? I'm like, the fuck? Well, I ain't say that, but I'm thinking, like, what the fuck? Like, I thought you'd be happy to meet me, but he wasn't, you know. So that's what happened with that. It was like an accident.
So what was that meeting like?
Awkward as fuck. He was just basically like, I met him, I ain't say shit to him. I was just like, basically like, hey, nigga, you know. And he was like, you know, why, he was asking my mom why I dressed the way I dressed, you know, how I end up like this, and why I'm so angry and shit like that. And I didn't really have much to say to him. At 16, you know, what more can you say?
Have you seen him since that point?
On and off. He called himself trying to help me with my music career. He wanted to turn me into Foxy Brown, and I wasn't with that shit. Because I was just trying to explain to him that it's a new time, it's a new era. You know, he tried to get me to do the weave and black lipstick and heels and even rap like her. And I'm just like, you know what, this not who I am. So we fell out over that, and that's basically what happened.
So he tried to get back in your life?
I don't think he ever wanted to be in it. I tried to get in his life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And rap music was just the common thing you guys, I guess, could...
I guess he wanted to be a rapper when he was younger. It never happened for him, so he, I guess, caught himself trying to help me, and he didn't know what the fuck was going on.
But what I'm saying, that's probably the common medium between you two that maybe you guys could start a relationship on, or...
Yeah, we tried to use that, but that never worked. It never worked. We had two different visions. He wanted something different for me than I wanted, so...
So where terms-wise, where are you at with him today?
I don't speak to him. Last time I talked to him, I asked to borrow some money. I think I needed like $500. He said no. I went out there the same day and got $800, and he asked me how I get the $800, and I guess he never talked to me again after that.
When it came to the jumpings, did that stop after a while?
You know what? I don't even remember. It used to happen so much for no reason and shit. You know, actually.
Was it bullying?
It was. It was.
How did you overcome that? Is it something you go to your parent and say, hey, this is happening?
I mean, yeah,
we
but
need to put a stop to this.
When you live
change schools.
We changed schools, but when you live in Detroit, you gotta fight back. Like, you got to. Even if you don't know how to fight, you gotta do something. You get your ass whooped if you don't. You gotta do something. Like, you gotta do something. Yeah, you gotta do something.
So how did you overcome these jumpings? How did they stop?
Start fighting back. You know, we eventually moved. I believe that's the reason my mom moved us out, because we used to get jumped and shit. But it'll be me mostly, like, some weird shit. It'll be me, like, it'll be 4 or 5 of them come across the street. I'm outside on the bike, then knock me off that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And I start fighting back, you know, basically. That shit happened for no reason, honestly. And the jumpings, they were, like, older. I was, like, probably 8. Girls, like, 13, 14, you know. They were teenagers. Yeah.
So these were girls jumping you?
Girls, yeah. Girls.
Somebody going through maybe this similar description of having to deal with bullying, having to deal with jumpings, circumstances could be different for everybody, but any general advice you would tell somebody that's having to go through this?
Stand up for yourself. Don't let nobody bully you. Beat beat the fuck out them, honestly. I mean, that may sound crazy, but you can't let nobody bully you, because if you let them do that, they're going to feel like they can do it. They're going to feel like they can keep doing it. And that's not cool. Put your hands on somebody, especially it's all y'all, you know. So they used to do little hoe shit, come over there, steal our tents out the backyard, steal our bikes and shit, just stupid shit, you know.
Now, physical violence, though, can lead to some pretty serious things, though.
It can.
You know, I've seen stories in the media where somebody's bullying, fights back, there's a stabbing, a kid gets killed, and a kid goes to jail.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff it doesn't happen a lot, but it can happen.
It does. It does. But like I said, that's not right for people to bully. I've seen stories like that online. You know, you got the kids bully these kids and they get their ass knocked out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they get. If they fucking 9, that's what they get. You can't be bullying people. That's not right. To bully somebody, you got kids committing suicide over shit, you know, because they get bullied. I saw a 10-year-old girl commit suicide, little girl, pretty girl, because she got bullied. You know, it's just like, what the fuck?
I know what story you're referring to, and that happens as well. There can be violence towards the bully that can lead to possibly death, but the person being bullied can also commit suicide in certain cases, and that causes death.
Yeah. I was actually bullied for the last time a couple years ago. I was bullied for the fucking last time. Actually, I was followed home by a group of people, and it just brought me back to when I was little. And they hopped out the car and shit. They had pistols and shit. And I ain't gonna lie, I took off. I was in my car, I skirted off. I didn't know who it was. But when I found out who it was somebody that I met once or twice. And I did some crazy shit. Like you said, it can lead to violence. I met up with them on 15 Mile in Gratiot, and I stabbed the fuck out of them, honestly. I cut like 2 of them. I tried to get all 5, but I'm glad things happened the way it did, because I'm not in jail now, you know, basically.
Yes, and it could be an accidental death.
Yeah.
Now, what I mean by that is maybe, you know, somebody's being bullied, and the person that's being bullied, you know, they could push somebody or push somebody down. And let's say that push might have not meant to kill somebody, but let's say that person that gets pushed lands wrong, hits their head on the concrete a certain way. And so something that might not even be like, I'm trying to murder somebody.
Right, right.
It can lead to manslaughter.
I thought, you know what, I was looking, the detective, I swear to God, detectives, they came deep in trucks and shit. I'm going to the library, and I had the knife. I keep a knife on me. I had the knife, and they confiscated the knife. They asked me what happened. I told them I was followed home. They told me, they said they didn't follow me home. They did, and he was telling me I was looking at 5 years for manslaughter. I could have killed her. I wasn't going to try to kill her. You know, I was just saying, like, look, don't follow me home, basically. And that shit could have ended all type of ways. I could be doing life right now. She could be dead.
And then that's something the court has to decide, and a jury has to decide. Is how do you punish somebody that's standing up for themselves but killed somebody, but was being bullied, which led to them killing? Was the killing malicious? Was it accidental? Do you let somebody walk free for killing somebody? Like, it's a lot of very touchy questions and subject matter.
Where I would have got at is, like, I didn't do it right when it happened. I met back up with them. That's where I was wrong at. That's where they would have got me, basically. All they saw me was on surveillance stabbing motherfuckers. That's all they saw me doing. They ain't see me doing nothing else. Like, so they said they ain't follow me home. There wasn't no cameras where I was living at. I was pretty much fucked, honestly.
So how were you able to beat that situation?
Basically, to be real, I basically found out where she lived at, and I pulled up. And I was like, look, this can't go. You know what you did. If you don't want this to go no further than what it need to go, I mean, let's just chill out. You go your own way, I go mine. She was all tough and shit. They was all tough, you know. Then when I got on the phone, she like, don't call my phone anymore and all this other shit. I'm like, look, you followed me. You came to where I fucking live. Do you not know what you did? You came to where I live at. Who does? How do you come to somebody's home and not expect nothing to happen to you? Now I gotta watch my back. I was paranoid after that for like fucking 2 years. I went to Cali right after that. Like 3 days after that happened, I was in Cali for the first time for 9 days, scared as fuck, looking over my shoulder, thinking people trying to kill me and shit. Living like that ain't right. And like I said, I was bullied as a kid, so you gotta understand, when shit happen, you get older, that triggers something in a person. That fucking triggers something. You go through this shit all your fucking life. It's like, what the fuck? Yes.
So now that we've talked this out a little further, does this change your advice to that question? You know, if somebody's being bullied, somebody's being jumped, what's the general advice you would tell somebody here? Your initial answer was a physical reaction.
I self-defense all day, but don't do what I did and go retaliate. You could kill somebody. Now you're looking at life. All your dreams is gone. You got kids. You can't see them like that. You know, it's not worth it. I'm glad I didn't kill that girl, because Lord knows I could have. You know, I'm glad I didn't, and I got a second chance at life. Honestly, I feel like.